Alright, we are doing the first oil change on the Kubota, the L4060. This is the 50-hour oil change. I just put some fuel in it, greased everything up, and now we're changing the oil. I already drained the tanks, so now we're putting the filter back on. Now this filter says 3/5 of a turn. Let's see how accurate that is, because that's just over a half turn. Sometimes these things are way off. Did you ever notice that? You put a new filter on, you should always at least hand tighten it so you get a good seal. But it always seems to be way more than what it tells you for turns on the filter. So, now that's hand tight, and I'm actually right at 3/5. Actually, I'm just over a half turn. So that one was about right on the money. I just did a little driveway revamp, widen this out a little bit. I still have a little bit more to do on the other side, but I laid this fresh batch of 2A limestone, and there was a lot of dust in this limestone batch, so it packed down. It's packing down really nice, but that rain really cleaned it up. When you put that stuff down for the first time, it's kind of messy. You're walking through it, you're tracking that stone dust in your car and in the house, and so it's nice to get that first big rain and kind of clean that dust off of there. So I'm just going through right now, packing it down a little bit more, and then I'm gonna put one more layer here. This kind of slopes down a little bit, so I want to level it out just a hair more. And then we're going to go take a couple trees down, start making room for the next shed I'm going to build where the tractor's going to be parked. take down. Both they're right in the way of where I bring the tractor. I have this little road that runs behind the the shed next to us here. It loops around and down into the yard, and I use that to stay out of the yard so I'm not tearing the yard up. But I always have to pull down, back up, pull forward, back up, because I got 2 trees in the way. One of them's a black walnut. I don't know if you can see it in the picture or not. The other one is a sycamore right here. So we're gonna take those 2 down, and that was kind of the last thing I needed to do before I can prep that pad where I'm gonna put that metal carport together. So get these 2 out of the way, and hopefully all goes well. Alright, that was a good cut. Put it right where I wanted it. Got a nice little bridge across the water there too. Had about, oh man, about 4 inches of holding wood that was still there. So that thing was leaning pretty hard that direction, which really helped. Luckily, that was nice and solid. Sometimes you'll cut into those sycamores and you got to be careful, because I've had a couple now where they look like perfectly good live trees, but the whole center of the tree at the bottom is just all hollowed out and rotted. So they're kind of known for that. They'll kind of rot from the ground up sometimes. So you got to be careful when you cut into them. I've gotten pinched a couple times, not realizing that or being prepared for it. But all right, that one's down. I'll eventually get over there with the excavator, get that thing cleaned up. That's a pretty big tree, but it's laying in a good spot. So let's get this this walnut right here is the next one, and we're gonna try to drop it right in that little window right there so it doesn't get hung up. Well guys, that's about as good as it can go. That was a tight window and there's some dangling branches up there I wanted to avoid. So, the only mistake I made, I kind of had the camera in the way. It's right where I wanted to go to watch that tree come down. I like to back up and then always look up. That thing's hung up a little bit on that hill, so I'm gonna cut a little more off of it and see if we can pull it down the rest of the way. So, if you need an excuse to buy an excavator and you cut firewood, this is it right here. I mean, this is so nice. Being able to lift that log off the ground and cut it. It's so much easier on your back. I'm putting all the logs in one pile. And this is good practice for learning the controls too. Just picking these logs up, moving them around. I got the bucket of the tractor loaded up. And I think I have enough cut off of this tree to hopefully drag it down the rest of the way. It's hung up, there's like a little hook in the tree at the top, and it's kind of hooked around another tree up there. got it now. Cut that right there. All right, this is it from that tree. Got the whole thing cut up. I even got the top cut up and into a little scrap pile. I think I'm gonna load a bunch of stuff into the dump trailer maybe tomorrow, and then go dump that up at the township recycling facility. But got that black walnut tree out of my way. All right, guys, we are making good progress down there, getting it cleaned up. The next thing I want to do is move some of these logs. I'm going to build like a little barrier along the edge of that hill. And these are just some junk maple logs I had. I'm not really doing much with them. So there's not a whole lot of good firewood here. They're real knotty. They got a little bit of rot on them, not much. I mean, they're pretty solid logs. You could get some good campfire wood out of them. But these are going to be perfect for what I want to do down here. I'll take a couple down and then I'll move you guys down there so you can see what I'm doing. This is where I'm putting that border in, and then what I'll do is backfill up against these logs. Got to turn my thumb on. should work good here. I gotta turn it. There's a bunch of deer walking around right across the stream here, and they're just looking at me. They don't have a care in the world about a big orange excavator making a bunch of noise about, I don't know, maybe 100 feet. Oh yeah, that's in there good now. Go snag another one. I'll be right back. How this ends up working out, but this is the biggest one. I want to put it right on this end here. Oh, that's almost perfect. close to what I was looking for. Oh, there it is, right there. Perfect. All right, that is going to wrap things up for today. So I am going to finish backfilling this tomorrow, but I got the logs I wanted in place, and they're pretty much, they're going to be even with the ground, with the road that I have off to the side here. So I'm just going to fill in this little gap right there. We'll put some stone over top of it eventually, and then we'll have a nice little road going through here. It's going to be a whole lot easier to access. And I am loving this excavator. So very happy I have that. So what I took out was, there's a black walnut about right in there. Oh, where's that stump? Let's find it. Yeah, right here. So right there was where that black walnut was. So that spot right there. And then the sycamore was right there. So what would happen is I would come down this road here, make this turn, and I wouldn't be able to clear that walnut tree. So I'd have to back up and then go forward again. And it was a tight squeeze between that sycamore there and that sycamore there. So now I'm going to be able to get through there no problem. I'm going to leave that little oak tree right there. We'll see how that does this summer. That tree is growing really crooked because it was trying to get out from around that big sycamore. So you get these really nice oak trees, they get choked out by the big sycamores here, which are junk. It's got vines growing all over it, so I'll cut them off, try to clean that up, and see how that oak tree does this summer. But hopefully it makes it. It's a nice tree. So, all right guys, that is gonna wrap things up for today. I appreciate y'all being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, give us some comments, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye. It's gonna be pretty cool to see your comments, but bye.
He wants to see some comments. All right, guys, see ya.